Good evening and welcome to the Eastside Centre in East Peoria, Illinois. It's a Peoria Sunday Morning League matchup between the Poor Bros Jacks and the Movesmart Mariners. Welcome in everybody. Alongside Brock Alkire, I'm Wesley Stombaugh. Glad to have you with us. Brock, we could be set for a pitcher's duel tonight.
Yeah, both pitchers are really good on the mound, and last time out, we saw a low-scoring game, and we got Beaneman on the mound for Moose Smart. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league, and for Poor Bros, just their whole pitching staff has been absolutely dominant. So look for this to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, for Poor Bros, they've got Bailey on the mound. He has yet to give up a run in 5 1/3 innings so far. He's got a .75 whip. Then on the side of the Mariners, they've got Caleb Beaneman, as you said, with a 1.27 ERA over 11 innings pitched, and he's got 10 strikeouts already.
Yeah, I mean, he's been dealing. We've been seeing both these pitchers just absolutely locked and dialed. Poor Bros last year, they had one of the best offenses in the league, making it to the championship series. This season, they're off to a cold start. They're batting under 200 as a team, so hopefully the bats get hot for Poor Bros because they have a lot of power on that team, but just haven't been able to get some hits.
Yeah, we think it could be a low-scoring game. Talking about the pitching matchup and two really good pitchers going tonight, but also it's that the offenses of these teams have both been struggling. You talked about Poor Bros, and the Mariners have only scored one run between the two games that these teams have played.
Yeah, the Mariners have only scored one run in Game 2. It was 3-1, and then they got shut out in their first game. Pitching has been the utmost importance from both these two teams, and you'd think when you only score 15 runs as a team, you'd think you'd have a worse record than 2-3. But with Poor Bros, their pitching has kept them in the game, and it could be a lot worse for Poor Bros with how this offense has been struggling. So we're going to look to see if they can get some bats rolling tonight, or if it's going to be a low-scoring game, like we said, 1-0, 2-1 win. But on Poor Bros, I'm really looking forward for the Sunday Morning League debut of Micah McCoy from Washington.
That's exciting, and both of these teams one game below 500, so both teams will be looking to get to that 500 mark here in this game. So take a look at the lineups for tonight's game. The Mariners will go Matt Armstrong leading off, playing shortstop. Then Chase Reed will hit second. Alex Garcia, Chris Casey, Ken Stemmelroth. Then they'll go Lott, Hathaway, Wang, and Chapman at the bottom of the order. Looking at Poor Bros defensively, the battery will be Rainey pitching and Arnett behind the plate. We've got McCoy, Brecklin, Booth, Pajoli from third base to first across the infield. Stewart in left, Horcham in center, and then Goforth to play right. So we're about a third of the way through the season. Brock, give me, big picture. Where are we at in the Sunday Morning League?
Sunday Morning League, I mean, some teams have been really hot. Impressively, the Miller Lite Falcons, who are 5-1 on the season, got some young talent. R.J. Duncan, who's going to Illinois State. You have a bunch of high school talent, as well as Clay McConkey, who's chasing the all-time wins record in the Sunday Morning League. He's been around for a while and looking to make history this season, which has been pretty cool. But the Falcons have been red hot so far.
They've certainly got all kinds of talent in this league, and should be a pretty evenly matched game, we think, tonight, even though Poor Bros is 2-0 in the head-to-head matchups. See if either team can get their offense going in this ballgame.
Yeah, already seeing each other for the third time this season. A little weird because we've only played a couple games here and there, but 3 games we're already seeing from these two teams is they're very familiar with each other.
Could potentially be an advantage for the hitters to eventually have seen some of the pitchers they'll face tonight. Here's Matt Armstrong to lead things off. The pitch from Rainey. In there for a strike. And he looks in, working from the stretch all the time. The pitch, breaking ball, never got back to the zone, and it's 1-1. Armstrong takes high. It's ball 2. And he deals the 2-1 pitch way high, and it's 3-1. Think Armstrong's taking all the way here?
I would say so. Rainey hasn't been throwing his best stuff yet, but 3-1 count, hitters count, I'd be selective.
He was aggressive there and fouled it off. So we'll go full on the first batter.
That was a good pitch to hit. Middle part of the zone, exactly where you wanted to hit it, but just couldn't get the full part of it and fouls it off.
Brock, a leadoff batter tends to be more selective, but you've got to think with an offense that's struggling and a really good pitcher on the mound, you know, sometimes he might do something unconventional, might try to be aggressive. 3-2 pitch fouled off. We'll do it again.
That was a good pitch by Rainey there. In on the hands, try to jam him, pop it up. Like the pitch selection there.
Yeah, fastball in. Armstrong just couldn't quite turn on it. Seen mostly fastballs in this plate appearance. I believe 1 breaking ball. That second pitch of the at-bat. The 3-2 pitch. Pop up on the infield. Booth under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1.
Good long at-bat there. It's really humid out there, so look for guys to be wondering what the ball is going to do today, because it is really hot and humid tonight, and a little bit of wind, which will help, but we just had some rain beforehand, and it got really sticky out, so advantage pitcher probably.
Yeah, it'd also be a thing for the defenses want to get off the field quickly. You think pitchers can tire especially quickly in these conditions. First pitch is a ball high to the batter, Reed. Rainey set and a 1-0. High again. And another hitter's count.
Yeah, it doesn't help when we're playing on turf, so it's really hot there.
That's a good point. That'll only exacerbate that issue for the pitchers and the defense in general, as there's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Two 2-1 the count on the batter, Reed, and the pitch. Curveball inside, 3-1. Another hitter's count for the Mariners. See if Reed looks to be aggressive. Swung on and missed. Kind of an ugly swing for a 3-1 count.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that pitch, but it was a good pitch by Rainey. Expect to go there again.
And another payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beat him with the fastball in the zone.
Good pitch right there. Just blew it by him for the strikeout.
Yeah, we've seen Rainey be pretty aggressive with that fastball early on. I think struggling with the command on the curveball. We've seen a few of them kind of let go, but he's aggressive with the fastball, and it's been effective so far. Looked like Armstrong was late on the few that he saw late in his plate appearance. And then you saw Reed get beat by it there. Garcia is the 3 hitter. He's behind the plate tonight for the Mariners. Just after we talked about the aggressiveness with the fastball, a couple of breaking balls to start out Garcia. Oh, strike 3. Pitch backwards a little bit there, but a 1-2-3 inning there for Porbros. This is the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Porbros and Movesmart are also big sponsors of Peoria Sunday Morning League Baseball on Clutch Sports Media. So let's take a look at the Poor Bros lineup. It'll be Brady Brecklin leading off, Ashton Horcham in the 2-hole, then Micah McCoy, Josh Arnett, Evan Pajoli hitting 5th, Brady Booth, then Zach Schulte, the DH, Jack Stewart, and Trevor Goforth in the 9-hole.
Yeah, and like we said, Micah McCoy, excited to see him make his debut tonight at Eastside. We got the Rookie of the Year award is going to be a hot one to get because you've got a lot of young talent in this league that has been very impressive. And the only reason why we haven't seen Micah McCoy is because the Washington Panthers were on a roll and got all the way and just fell short in the sectionals. But now get to showcase his talents here for the Sunday Morning League. I'm really looking forward to his debut.
Looking at Movesmart defensively, Caleb Bieneman is the starting pitcher. Garcia will be his battery mate. Then Chapman at third, Armstrong at short, Reed at second, and Hathaway playing first. From left to right across the outfield, it goes Casey, Wang, and Summeroff. Talking about that rookie talent, Brock, I think that's one of the better things about this league, just the talent, at different levels, all coming together to compete. Talking about guys going deep into the IHSA state playoffs. You've got guys who have graduated college, just a very large span there of different players.
Yeah, and we even have a former Major League Baseball pitcher in the league for the Expos. You'll see him later, but yeah, I mean, just loads of talent in this league, up and down. You got guys that are 40 plus, and you got guys in high school and college playing.
Brecklin bounces out to the first baseman Hathaway and one away. Orcham, the center fielder, will bat. 1 pitch, 1 out. A good start there for Bieneman. Kind of a contrast to the leadoff plate appearance from Armstrong, where he got to a full count, fouled off a couple of pitches. It's a quick out for Bieneman. That pitch is low for ball 1. Pitch caught the outside corner to even the count.
Horcham had a strong year at Bradley. He hit .320 on the season as the Bradley Braves center fielder.
Yeah, he's a guy you figure the Jackets are going to need to get hot for them to go on a run. 2-1 the count on the batter, Horcham. No runners on base so far in this ball game. The 2-1 is high. It's 3-1 on Horcham. Horcham got a lot of pop in his bat. Hitters count. Look for him. Look for something to drive here. 3-1 pitch. Fouled back. Threw his bat way down the first base line. I think past the first base bag.
Yeah, that got distance. That's one of the farthest bat throws I've seen.
Maybe for the best because it wasn't at his teammates. So grabbed the bat, didn't add any more pine tar. It is a little slick out here, had some showers just before the game. It's a payoff pitch from Bieneman. Ball 4, not a real competitive miss. And Horcham is aboard.
Good plate appearance by Horcham. Now we get to see a Sunday Morning League debut for Micah McCoy. And Sunday Morning League fanatics might know the name McCoy. Mason McCoy played in the Sunday Morning League as well, part of the San Diego Padres organization now. But it's cool to see that Micah is now in the Sunday Morning League as well.
Look over to first. McCoy will see his first pitch in the Sunday Morning League. Inside for a ball. The throw over, a little high, but Hathaway kept it over there. Bieneman a look at the runner, Horcham, and he takes off. Bieneman steps off, throws to second, and looked like Reed dropped the ball, so it'll be a stolen base there for Horcham.
Horcham being very aggressive, going before the pitch. He was a little jumpy on first. I could have seen that one coming.
Pretty impressive read from Horcham, just because it's not really like Bieneman was neglecting him over there. I mean, he'd thrown over twice. He was paying a lot of attention to him, but still able to read Bieneman and take off early.
A little bit important. You want to get that guy into scoring position because, like we said, runs are going to be difficult to come by between these two pitchers.
Pitch to McCoy, swung on and missed. Big hack, came up empty. Bieneman set and delivers. Swing and a miss. There's 2 strikes on the batter, McCoy. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Chapman charges it, gets rid of it in a hurry, and retires McCoy. So 2 away. The runner Horcham advancing to third. But a nice play by Chapman to come in and charge that ball and get the out.
Yeah, good play. Coming in on that ball, charging it. Good throw. Runner at third now. See if we can get the first run of the game.
Still no hits in the game. But a run just 90 feet away for Poor Bros. Fouled it off of him. That was Josh Arnett, the catcher for Poor Bros. Rock, a lot of times catchers are hitting pretty low in the lineup, but we've got Alex Garcia hitting in the 3-hole for the Mariners, and Josh Arnett's hitting cleanup for Poor Bros.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Garcia, fun fact, he's gotten a hit every game in the month of June so far, and he's been absolutely spectacular. Both these catchers have big-time pop and can really hit the ball.
0-2 count. See if we'll see a chase pitch from Bieneman. You're going to throw one in the dirt. Not going to have a lot of trust in your catcher here. It's a breaking ball for strike 3. Not a very emphatic call from the home plate umpire, but it was strike 3. So no hits and no runs after 1 here. You're watching the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Here's another look at the Movesmart lineup. One that has struggled, as we talked about, against this Poor Bros pitching now, just 1 run in 15 innings. But it looked like they're putting together some better plate appearances there in the first, making Rainey throw a lot of pitches at least.
Yeah, they're getting a good look at Rainey. Good at bats. They were being selective. They were fouling pitches off, and they just gotta keep doing that. Try to make him make mistakes and throw you a good pitch because, like we said, both these two pitchers have been spectacular. So you just got to wait until they make one mistake and you can change things in a hurry.
Yeah, those long plate appearances, like we talked about, could be especially impactful in these conditions. Just really humid after the rain from earlier. It's hot on the turf. So making a pitcher throw a lot of pitchers in a particular plate appearance or in a particular inning could have a big impact. So Chris Casey, the left fielder and cleanup hitter, will lead off the inning for the Mariners. And he's set out of the stretch. Strike on the outside corner. Good start to the inning for Rainey. And here's the 0-1. Cracked foul down the left field line.
It's good for Rainey to get ahead of the count quickly, try to not throw as many pitches, and like we said, 0-2 count, just throw pitches that won't. You don't want long at bats in this game. It's hot.
Called strike 3, front door breaking ball, froze Casey. That's out number 1.
That'll work. 3 pitches and a K. Like I was saying, it's really hot. The longer you are on the field, the more you're going to struggle in this game. So as quick as you can be and be successful at it is a must.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Semmelroth. Yeah, we talked about, between the conditions and then just the success that Porboro's pitching has had, there's a lot of reason to be aggressive, even ahead in counts. Called strike, tried to hold up, but plate umpire said it was in the strike zone, so it's 0-2 on another batter. It's a pop-up in on the infield for Booth under it and makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many base runners we actually get in this game because both these pitchers hard to get off of, and the conditions just make it even tougher for hitters.
The batter is Caleb Lott. Packs one on the ground. 2 first. That's Pajoli. Makes the play unassisted for out number 3. So the Mariners go quietly in the top of the second. No score after 1.5. This is the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Looking back at that Poor Bros lineup, Brock, who are some guys that you want to see get hot? I think we know that, it's a team that is a lot more capable offensively than they have shown so far. So who are guys you want to see get hot for them?
Oh, man. Evan Pajoli had an outstanding college year at Olivet. He was hitting absolute bombs. He had at least 10 home runs in college ball, and he's struggled. I believe he's batting just under 100, but we're going to see him this inning, and believe me, he's going to get hot. He has absolute monster power as well, but just up and down this lineup, Horcham, McCoy, Brecklin, Stewart, all these guys have tremendous abilities at hitting, and that's why they went to the championship last year, just off to a tough start to start the season.
So here is Evan Pajoli, the first baseman, to lead off the inning for Poor Bros. Beaman will look in for the sign and deals. Low and away for ball 1. Fastball kind of yanked it. Bouncing ball foul down the third base line, 1-1.
Yeah, but Pajoli has power. I think, top 3 most dangerous power hitters in the league, in my opinion. One of them being Evan Pajoli.
Ball outside, yeah, he's certainly got the strength, in a bit of a slump right now about getting down, his rhythm and his timing, seeing pitches a little bit better. But a guy that I think Poor Bros expects to do a lot for them to come down the stretch in this season. There's a high fly ball Under it is Armstrong, makes the catch, one away.
We've been seeing a lot of weak contact induced by Bieneman, and Porbros just needs to get something going. Again, no hits, but a lot of their contact has been really soft contact, which is great for Bieneman.
I think as much as anything, we've just seen these pitchers be aggressive with their fastball and beat guys with their fastball, whether it's getting swings and misses or lazy fly balls on the infield. There's a big swing and a miss on a first pitch breaking ball from Rainey, but just, beating guys with the fastball in the strike zone. This ball low and away, and the count's even at 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Bieneman. He's got 2 strikes on the batter booth. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. Great breaking ball again. Got him twice with the breaking ball in that plate appearance, and he gets the strikeout.
Big strikeout there, and now we got the president of the league himself, Zach Schulte, up to bat.
Former batting champ, the president of the league, manager of this Poor Bros team. A huge for Sunday morning league baseball as he swings and misses at the first offering from Bieneman. Kind of a half swing, bouncing ball to first. Throw to Bieneman in time. And another 1-2-3 inning. No score after 2. And Sunday Morning League baseball on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Now we talk about guys you want to see get hot. How about Trevor Goforth in that first matchup this season for Poor Bros with the Mariners? He went 3 for 3. He had a double and a home run. And a big part of why they were able to win that game 4-0.
Yeah, great game by him and got off to a hot start in the season. Big factor of how the Mariners won that game. But yeah, look for him to be another guy just trying to get them to a playoff spot and go far in the playoffs.
Sun getting close to setting, not quite there at the Eastside Centre, but could certainly cool off as the sun goes down. Could affect how the ball is carrying. Not really any problems with shadows at the Eastside Centre. Pretty clear shot from the sun at the field. Shouldn't be an issue for batters. Here's Chuck Hathaway, the first baseman for Movesmart. Rainey delivers. Ball just outside. Tried a little get me over breaking ball, but broke just off of the plate. Hathaway, also the quarterback at nearby DMAC High School. That's, I think just goes to what we were talking about earlier, how cool it is, the ability of these guys at different levels, whether it's, guys who are adults with day jobs or guys who are, their day job is being the quarterback at their high school. Swing and a miss on a high fastball.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts about this league. You get to see guys that play high school and college baseball, and then you get to see guys that want to keep baseball in their blood, and it's just a passion for them coming out here, playing a game on a Monday night. It's one of the best things about the Sunday Morning League.
Jolie gets to that, flips it to the pitcher, Rainey, and there's out number 1. Job by Rainey to get over. That ball kind of took Jolie into the hole a little bit. And a ball coming from another field onto the field. And kind of an inopportune time, but didn't affect the play. And the batter is Eli Wang. Fastball high, good take. That's a pitch that can look so enticing.
Yeah, Rainey's pitch count is in good shape. Last inning, just a 6-pitch inning for him. So he's been really aggressive, and guys are going after and hitting it, and it's helping his pitch count a lot.
There's a big cut and a miss. 1-1 is the count. Nice front door curveball there for a called strike, and it's 1-2. All outside, and it's even. Mariners looking to get a man aboard for the first time. The first 7 went down in order. Continuing a theme between these two teams of just really strong pitching and not a lot of offense. Called strike 3, good fastball in the outside corner, got him.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Rainey is in control tonight, off to a hot start. Getting about as good as a start as that last College World Series game that we saw on ESPN.
There's a little chopper down the left side, foul. Chapman just a little bit ahead of that first pitch fastball. Bryce Chapman rounds out this lineup, plays third base for the Mariners. Froze him on a good breaking ball, started at his head and broke back into the strike zone. Quickly 0-2.
That pitch was gross. Basically an unhittable pitch.
Rainey had Chapman ducking out of the way on a pitch that ended up being right over the heart of the plate. Just high. Looked like a pretty similar pitch to the previous one, but couldn't get the home plate umpire to pull the trigger. Counts 1-2. The line drive into right center, and that'll get down for the first hit of the ball game. So it's a 9-hitter for the Mariners, who gets their offense started today.
Yeah, a call that could have gone either way. We saw the Port Rose guys walking back to the dugout, but had to stay put. And next pitch rips one into right center for the first base runner of the game.
Maybe a mistake there by Rainey. Ahead 1-2, left a fastball, a little bit too much of the plate, and Chapman didn't miss it. Fastball inside for ball 1. To Armstrong, the product of University High and now at McHenry County College. Line drive into left center, and that's going to find some grass. So a couple of hits in a row now for the Mariners, and they're threatening here in the top of the 3rd.
That was a good base hit, line drive. Might want to check that bat and see if it's broken, but good line drive single. Now runners at first and second could have a potential action in this game, try to get their first run of the game, which could be the most important one, which how we've been seeing both these pitchers pitch tonight.
Yeah, with runs as difficult to come by as they are. Here's a fly ball into center, playable for Horcham, and he's under it and makes the grab. So Mariners threaten, but they are unable to score in the top of the 3rd. No score still on Peoria Sunday Morning League Baseball on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. A little bit of trouble there in the top of the third for Rainey, but overall these pitchers have been really efficient, done a good job getting themselves and their defense into the dugout quickly out in the heat. And a pretty quick ball game so far, midway through the third. It's only been about a half hour.
Yeah, good to see, especially with this heat. You wanna get out of this as soon as possible because it keeps getting more and more muggy, it seems like, in this game. But hopefully when that sun goes down, wind picks up a little bit, it's not as bad.
Pitchers have been this efficient even without a pitch clock.
Yeah, it's been one of the new rules added in the Sunday Morning League, actually, to speed things up was the extra innings rule. So now we have runner at second base to start extra innings, which helps a lot because last year we had a lot of games go extra innings and couldn't find any run support, but now we've been seeing it be a lot more successful in extra innings.
Here's Stewart, grounds one to short. Playing it on a hop is Armstrong, throws to first for out number one. Brock, one of the, speaking of rule changes, I was at a AAA game on Saturday, the Las Vegas Aviators, and got to see the replay system for balls and strikes implemented where a batter, a catcher, or a pitcher can challenge a pitch. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting rule. Sunday Morning League is years behind on that technology, but
not quite.
We'll see what we can do with that.
Yeah, I think I like the challenges. I don't like if there's a strike two, go forth. I don't like the completely robo umps. I think taking the human aspect out of that is not good for the sport. But the challenges were pretty interesting. They were very efficient. You even see it on the so here's a swing and a miss on a good breaking ball by Goforth. You even see it on the screen, and it's kind of a dramatic moment. You're watching the replay of the pitch coming in thinking, is it going to clip that strike zone? But it really doesn't hurt the pace of play much.
Yeah,
outside.
It's pretty quick, and it reminds me of the tennis challenges when they look up on the video board and see if it's out or in play. I like the aspect of it.
Yeah. There's the 2-2 pitch. Called. Strike three. Good fastball on the low and outside corner, and Goforth goes down looking.
These pitchers have been dominant. Not a lot of offense. Like we were calling it pregame, said 1 or 2 runs will win this thing, and that's what we're looking like now.
That could very well be the case. Both of these pitchers are dealing. Here's Brecklin again. Grounded out to first in his first plate appearance. There's a ball outside. Brecklin is a product of Washington High School, who we just mentioned had a great run in the IHSA state playoffs this postseason. Here's a fly ball into right. Coming in on it is Selma Roth, and he will make the catch. There's out number 2. Oh, out number 3. Sorry. That's the end of the third. There's no score. This is the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Taking a look at that last matchup between these two teams. Porbros defeating Movesmart 3-1. That was on May 29th. The winning pitcher was Carter Nowak. He pitched 7 innings to a complete game, only 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, Carter Nowak for Porbros has been dominant this year. Like we said, Porbros pitching is probably number 1, I'd say, up and down in the league. They recruit pitchers, and they have a lot of them. So it helps them deep in the postseason, like we saw last year, going to the championship. Having all these guys available, it's really key for them in the postseason. It doesn't look like it now in the regular season, but when you have to play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's nice that you can have pitchers take days off and still have some guys to throw on those days.
Yeah, there's star power in this pitching staff, but there's also just a lot of depth. I think that's a big thing for them. And an interesting thing about that outing for Carter Nowak, only 1 earned run, but he gave up 8 hits. So I mean, a pretty decent number of hits for the Mariners, but just spread out, and the 9 strikeouts. So not a great job by Movesmart of putting the ball in play and advancing those runners they got. Leadoff batter is Reed, the 2-hitter for the Mariners. Just low for a ball. It's 1-0 on Reed.
Yeah, we last weekend the Sunday Morning League got to celebrate with an alumni game at Dozer Park. That was really cool to see all the veterans and old timers come back. Had a special guest in attendance, the New York Yankees World Series champion Zach Monroe, who was in the Sunday Morning League, joined us. It was a really fun time and a good experience for all the guys that are no longer with the league, but we can still say, hey, you guys are really, really great, and what they've done for the league has been awesome.
Called strike 3 on Reed and 1 away. Yeah, that's, I think, a great thing about this league, just the community it builds and what it means to the people who play in it and the people who watch their dad play in it or their son play in it. And that alumni game is also always a great event. Randy the pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Nice play by Brecklin to glove it, but then couldn't get the transfer cleanly, and it'll be an infield single for Garcia.
It was a nice, solid hit to the shortstop. Good dive, just couldn't come up with it. It's a tough play from there. Got to give him a hit on that one if you're the official scorer.
Yeah, I mean, a really tough play for Brecklin, and I think even if he comes up with that cleanly, I'm not sure he even has a shot at Garcia at first. So 1 on and 1 out for the cleanup batter, Chris Casey. Casey, not typical stature of a cleanup hitter, but he's got some pop. And Casey has his tower buzz for the second time in this plate appearance. He's ahead 2-0. Breaking ball just high. I think that's a good idea from Rainey. Had the 2 pitches high and inside to come back with a breaking ball that kind of starts at his head and looks like, oh, here's number 3, but then breaks back in, but just didn't quite drop into the zone. So a 3-0 pitch. There's a line drive into center. Charging in is Horchin, and he slides and makes the grab. Nice catch by Horchin for out number 2.
There's a reason why he became the starting center fielder at Bradley. He wasn't in the lineup starting at Bradley, but midway through the season he got his spot, and boy, he delivered, and like we saw there, spectacular catch on defense.
When you're a center fielder, you can get yourself a pretty safe spot in the lineup by playing, having a great glove, even if you're struggling offensively. There's a bouncing ball to short. Steps on it and throws to first for the double play. A nice play there by Brecklin. Retires the side. So there's no score still in this Sunday Morning League matchup between the Mariners and the Jacks on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Going back to that automated strike zone conversation, I saw a poll from MLB players. I think it was around 60% of players said that they would not want a completely automatic strike zone. So I feel like that's reason why it's not very likely to happen. I think out of everyone involved, players are probably the guys who would be, most likely to want it because it's, as their livelihood, and it's frustrating when you're a professional. You're doing this for your job. You're doing this to feed your family. Not that they're poor by any means, but to have that hindered by unfair calls. You think, a lot of times the players would be the ones most in favor of it. So I think to see that the majority of them are against it probably means it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the human aspect of the game, we love our umpires, especially here at the Sunday Morning League, taking their time, calling these games mid-afternoon, games Sundays, Mondays, whenever it is. We love having them, and, umpires are a crucial part of the game, and couldn't have baseball without them. So I don't think we should be getting rid of them because it's part of the game.
Ball to Horcham, leadoff batter in this inning. And a part of that potential idea to have completely automated strike zone, there'd still be an umpire behind there, and he'd just have some sort of device that's telling him whether it was a ball or a strike. And I think that could make for some funny moments where there's a pitch that a batter really didn't think was a strike because I guess the automated strike zone, and he wants to yell at the guy behind the plate, but it's not his fault. Line drive into left center for a base hit. Thinking two, and he's going to go for it. Here's the throw, not in time, and a stand-up double for Porbros.
Like I said, Ashton Horcham got his way into the Bradley lineup, hitting .320 on the year at Bradley. Spectacular center fielder, and you see him line one into the gap for a double. Big part of this Porbros team.
Speaking of umpires potentially taking criticism for things that aren't their fault, did you see in the Red Sox game Alex Cora where they challenged the play, it was not overturned, and then he was given an earful to the umpires on the field?
I did. It's one of those things where, managers get frustrated, but the guy that you want to yell at is 100 miles away.
Yeah.
You gotta let it out on somebody. But yeah, funny moment there.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Cora and for the umpires. Ground ball to short. Armstrong gloves it. Those to first, so one away, but advancing to third is the runner Horcham. So they got a man at third with less than 2 outs.
Exactly what you want in the lineup, the 4-hitter with the runner at third and 1 out. Try to find some grass, score a run. Could be a huge turning point in this ball game.
And a good read there from Horcham on that ball, hit pretty much right at him, but pretty softly, and he recognized that it was hit softly enough. Here's a tapper back to the pitcher. That will not drive in the run. Throws over to first, 2 away. So Arnett is unable to drive in the run. But, that can be a tough one to read. But he was able to get to third, which looked pretty big at the time, but Arnett unable to drive in the run. So now we need a base hit here with 2 outs from Evan Pajoli.
Yeah, not the best spot for Arnett, grounding it right to the pitcher for you not to get the run. And like we saw here, Pajoli getting the walk. I told you he can get hot, and they don't want to mess with him.
I think that just goes to show how hard runs can be to come by in this game because, a lot of times it's only the 4th inning. A lot of times it's not a very winning strategy to be putting guys on a lot, but they feel like they'll take the risk of giving up a crooked number in order to try to prevent this run from third from scoring. So here's a ground ball to third. Gloved by Chapman. Nice play. Throws to first to retire Booth. So the Porbros Jacks threaten but are unable to push across the run, and there is still no score after 4 innings. This is Peoria Sunday Morning League Baseball on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. on that review situation with the Red Sox, though. You understand Cora's frustration because, looking at the replay, that New York got it wrong. But, you're arguing with the wrong guys. There is maybe something to be said for, being frustrated with the first base umpire who made the fair foul call on the field, because that certainly has, a big effect on what the guys in New York are thinking, because, you've got to have I feel like there's 5 different words they use to say. Indisputable is a commonly used one. Evidence to say that, the call on the field was incorrect. So, the call on the field definitely matters, even if you're going to challenge the call.
Yeah, it just brings a whole different aspect to the game with all these challenges and instant replays and reviews. It changes the game in a big way. Just to have a challenge and for a team to review now in this age is a big deal in in professional baseball. But yeah, I think reviews are good and all, but at the same time, we like our league how it is right here with having just fun time. It still is competitive, but at the same point, these guys are just coming to play ball and staying warm until college and high school ball start.
So Rainey ready to start the top of the 5th. Line drive to the right field line, foul, and out of play. Big swing and a miss, and it counts 0-2.
Rainey not messing around, just staying in the strike zone. Pitch count in great shape. He's looked phenomenal tonight.
Ball in the dirt, so the count's 1-2. Swinging a foul, and we'll do it again. Serves one into left center, coming in center fielder, and it'll drop in front of Horchin. So a leadoff base hit there for Lott. Not a very sharply hit ball, but it finds the outfield grass, and it's a leadoff man aboard for the Mariners. I think when teams are struggling so much offensively, another thing they start to think about is playing small ball. Hathaway fouls one off.
Yeah, we saw Horcham when he got on his first at bat. He stole a base to get to second. Small ball might be the play here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not usually a fan of a bunt with the runner on first and nobody out, but I think when the offense is struggling, you just start to be a little bit more open-minded about trying different things to advance runners. There's a ball high. To the count. Rainey sets and pickoff move.
I can't see it from my vantage point, but out in right field in the bullpen, Portbros appears to have somebody loosening.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a good high fastball. That's one that's just so tough to lay off of, just above the hands.
Yeah, good pitch, good at bat. I mean, Rainey is dialed in. That's strikeout number 6 on the night for him. Uh, Getting hitters to look foolish.
Ball just high to the 9-hitter, Bryce Chapman.
Chapman had that base hit in his last at bat. Good for a 9-hitter when you could get a guy to make
Ground to the left
contact.
side, gloved by Casey on to first. Double play, and that'll end the inning. Big play there from Port Bros to get out of it. And there's still no score here on the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. Cruzen's Reds leading 1-0 over the Royals over here on the other field at the Eastside Centre. It's the top of the 4th over there. So not a whole lot of offense anywhere at the Eastside Centre. I don't know, we just had probably an 8U game end on this other field. Maybe they had some more scoring over there.
Yeah, hopefully for 8U. If an 8U game, coach pitch game is 3-2, we have some major problems here at Eastside.
You hope those games are high scoring when coaches are pitching. Sometimes they get even more high scoring when you go up a few years and it's kids who are struggling to throw strikes. But
back to what you were saying over on that field, Cruzen's being up, that they've been a team that has really struggled. They're in last place in the league, 3-5. So they're looking for a big win here tonight over on the other field.
it's a pretty good league, though, when the last place team is 3-5. I think only a couple games below 500, and I think that's a good thing about the league. Is just it's very competitive. You don't have a lot of teams blowing each other out.
Yeah, this year is one of the most talented. I mean, through and through, every single team has at least 3 or 4 guys that can absolutely wow you on the field. So if you come to Eastside or ICC to watch a ball game, you will be amazed because these guys are talented. We have D2 pitchers that were nominated for Pitcher of the Year award. One of the best D2 pitchers in the nation. So not just D1, but D2, D3, JUCO. The Sunday Morning League has it all, and it's a wide variety of talent.
Breaking ball for a strike from Bieneman. That counts 1-1 on Zach Schulte. He grounds one to the left side. Charging it is Chapman. Throws on the run to retire Schulte. That was Chapman. I got it wrong in the top half of the inning. McCoy was the third baseman for Port Bros, starting that inning-ending twin killing. So the leadoff man is retired for Port Bros. Ball in to shallow right field. The first baseman, Hathaway, is over there and makes the grab. And 2 are away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Like I said before, just very surprising for this Port Bros team. Just soft contact after soft contact. After last year, if you recall, they went to the Sunday Morning League Championship Series and lost to Cruzen's. But it's very, very strange to see a team that was one of the best in the league now just struggle offensively. Even they made more moves in the offseason to try to get better and improve, but it's a long season, so they still have time to progress. But just very curious of how they've been performing so far.
Baseball is a very unpredictable game, and I think you see that even across Major League Baseball. There's always a team or two that looks great on paper and doesn't turn out to be that great, or teams that don't have a ton of talent but end up finding ways to manufacture runs and to get out, even with guys who don't necessarily have the greatest of stuff on paper. Reminds me of the Brewers last year. It's a called strike.
Well, in this league, the Brienzo's Orioles, they're 5-2, 6-2, and they have always been middle of the pack. And I was talking to some people, they're saying like they're the sleeper team this year, and they've really shown it. We just had a no-hitter last week by Griffin Self in a 13-0 mercy rule game against the Royals. So they're red hot, and they are looking to make some noise this postseason.
Here's the payoff pitch to Goforth. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. But yeah, I think a couple of aspects of those teams that don't look great on paper but surprise people are defense and base running. I think those are things that are overlooked. Those are things that can be more difficult to quantify statistically. I know you can look at base running and look at stolen bases and things like that, but just stuff like taking first to third on a base hit or scoring from second can be harder to tell on paper. Another foul off to the left. Just a little bit late on the fastball, but able to kind of get off a defensive swing and foul it off to stay alive.
Having teams that do the small things right is what compares a good team to a great team.
Yeah, that adds up for a team and adds up for a league when you have a lot of teams who care about that kind of thing. You get great baseball. Ball outside. Looked like a breaking ball that backed up on Bieneman. So a two-out base runner for the Poor Bros.
That brings up the top of the lineup for Poor Bros. Looking to get something going. Only one hit so far tonight.
Brecklin, the shortstop, 0 for 2 tonight. He grounded to first and flew out to right. This pitch just high for ball one. I think a ground out to first and a fly out to right. Maybe he's been a little bit late on the fastball. See if he can get his front foot down on time here and turn on one. He did get out in front of it, but hits a weak ground ball to third. Chapman gloves it. And a good stretch there by Hathaway at first. Through 5, no score on Clutch Sports Media at Peoria Sunday Morning League, sponsored by Body Armor. Bryce Chapman, the third baseman, made a couple of plays there in the bottom of the inning. And his team will look to him here to get them started in the top of the 6th.
We have a pitching change for Poor Bros. It looks like number 14, Broker Bailey, will now be pitching for the Poor Bros Jacks.
Looks like it'll actually be Matt Armstrong, the leadoff hitter. But a pitching change for Poor Bros, and it could go either way. Maybe the Mariners are glad to see a guy come out when they've been struggling so heavily against him. Maybe they're disappointed because they're not getting to, have that third time through the order against him where that's where the numbers for the offensive team tend to really spike.
Yeah, but if you're Movesmart, you got to be careful because, like I said before, the Poor Bros pitching rotation up and down. Their number 5 guy is just about as anybody good with their number 1 and 2. They have a really solid pitching rotation. Relief pitching has been great. They haven't allowed many runs this year, so runs are tough to come up by if you're playing against the Poor Bros. But on the other end, Poor Bros hitting hasn't been spectacular either. So looking forward to seeing who gets this one run and will come out victorious.
You say who gets that one run pretty confidently, and I think you can say that, in this game. One run looks like it's going to win it. Here's the leadoff batter, Matt Armstrong, 0 for 2 on the evening. Potentially a good spot for the Mariners facing a new pitcher, and they've got the top of their order here in the 6th. First pitch from Bailey misses out. One fouled back and out of play. 1-1 the count on Armstrong. Bailey wheels and deals. High for a ball.
Like we were saying about the humidity, our papers are now just sticking to us.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more hot and humid, even with the sun going down.
There's a foul off to the right, and it's 2-2. Yeah, you'd wonder if players' fingers are sticking to the ball when they're throwing it. I mean, it's just so sticky out here. And here's the 2-2 delivery from Bailey. In the dirt, ball 3. As much as the offenses have struggled, I think we've seen a lot of deep counts. I feel like we've said 3 and 2 a lot.
Yeah, both teams working the count, getting these pitchers to throw some balls as there's another walk. Trying to get getting the runner on first to start the inning, just again, trying to advance him. Because, like we said, 1 run is going to win this game. So, however you can get this runner to advance would be ideal.
So, ball 4 to Armstrong. There's a foul ball onto our field. You know, that's really not something that you want to do if you're Bailey, come in and walk the leadoff batter. As much as the offense has struggled, to give him a free pass there could be huge. And especially when you're a reliever, that leadoff walk seems to always come back to bite you. Another ball in the dirt. Bailey not appearing to have his best command so far in this outing. And the 1-0 just outside for ball 2. Catcher Arnett wanted it, but it did appear to be off the plate. Chase Reed playing his college ball at Sauk Valley. So he'll wait for the 2-0 pitch. In the dirt again, and it's 3-0. Brock, do you want to be aggressive here, or do you want to make Bailey come into the zone knowing that his command is not there?
I would take in this spot just because he's been spiking his pitches a little bit. You got to see if you can throw a strike here.
There's ball 4. So first and second and nobody out. A great opportunity here from the Mariners. Our producer, Jonathan Michael, wants the Mariners to bunt. I would agree. Well, I would maybe want to see that Bailey can put one in the zone first, but after that, I think, you know, you stay out of the double play ball and you get the go-ahead run to third with less than 2 outs. Portboro's defense doesn't appear to be expecting a bunt.
Yeah, his command hasn't been that great to start this inning, so don't know if I would fully commit to it. To a bunt in this case.
Another thing is you've got the 3-hitter Garcia, a lot of pop in his bat. But, you know, I think this is a situation where you're looking to push one across. It's not one where you're trying to put up a crooked number. Then the dilemma is just that you don't want to give Poor Bros an out when they've got a guy on the mound, though, who's struggling to throw strikes. As there's one in there. That would have been a great pitch to bunt. Fastball low in the zone. 1-1.
And we said Garcia, his hitting streak is in jeopardy. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's gotten a base hit in every single game this month. So, and we're in the 6th. Not a lot of at-bats left for him.
Fastball fouled back. And it's 1-2. Good hack there from Garcia. Appeared to be on it, at least on time. But just fouled one back, and now he's got to do everything he can here to get runner to third before 2 are away. Bailey looks in, shakes off the catcher Arnett. Now they agree. Bailey set, and the 1-2. Fouled off. These fields are in pretty close proximity and seeing a lot of balls bounce onto other fields.
Yeah, it's really nice here at Eastside. Beautiful complex, beautiful fields.
Ball in the dirt, 2-2. Interesting defensive alignment from Poor Bros. They've got their center fielder Horchin playing in dead center, and then their corner outfielders are both pretty close to the line, especially the left fielder Stewart, but don't appear to really be playing Garcia in any particular direction. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Nice job by Bailey to find his command, come back into the zone. Garcia just couldn't pull the trigger.
Good pitch by Bailey to get the out. They desperately needed an out here as there's continues to be more action on the Poor Bros bullpen. Again, we can't see it from our vantage point, but I do see somebody throwing.
Cleanup hitter Casey will bat. He lined out to center his last bat. Called strike on the first pitch to Casey. Looks like Bailey might have found his command. A few strikes here in a row. And here's the 0-1. Fastball in the left-handed batter's box. 1-1 the count.
Looking for his pitch and driving it. Again, 1 run. All we need, really.
Bailey not paying a ton of attention to the runners. You wonder if the Mariners are thinking about trying a double steal here to manufacture that run, get the guy in the scoring position, or already in scoring position, but to third with less than 2 outs. As there's ball 2 on the batter, Casey.
I don't think they'd be that aggressive. We're in the 6th inning, but double steal here with 1 out. You don't want to take a risk getting a second out.
Casey swings and misses at a good fastball up in the zone.
Good pitch. Now, and another 2-strike count. Going for another K.
See if Casey's able to shorten up, hit a line drive to the outfield and drive in that go-ahead run. Bailey ready, and the pitch. Fouled off. Pretty good breaking ball and a good job by Casey to waste it. Casey steps right back in, adjusts his helmet, and then wait for another 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Chased a pitch out of the zone, and 2 down.
Good pitch right there. Getting out of, trying to work out of this jam. We had runners at first and second, nobody out, and back-to-back Ks. That runner at second is looking very important in this ballgame.
I think Jonathan Michael's suggestion of a bunt is looking better and better after these 2 strikeouts. Here's right fielder Summeroff, and they do now try double steal. Arnett dropped it, then threw to second, but everybody is safe. It looked like runner at second maybe got a jump. Runner at first didn't quite see it at first, but everybody is safe, so now a base hit would likely also give the Mariners an insurance run. Second and third, 2 away.
Looked like Chase Reed didn't know we were going to steal there, but he got to second in time.
There's a foul off to the right.
Yeah.
A little scary over there with some young kids having the foul ball sent their way.
A little scary here. Arnett's in a huge spot. Don't let a pass ball or a wild pitch score a run here with the runner at third. Haven't had a runner at third in a long time, if any, in this game.
The chopper to the left side, going to be a tough play for McCoy. Gloves it, throws to first, and he throws it away. 2 runs are going to score. Pajoli couldn't make the pick on the throw in the dirt. Score that, likely an E5 and 2-run score for the Mariners.
Huge play late in this ball game to score the runs, and just like that, we're no longer scoreless. Movesmart Mariners out in front.
That was a tough play. Looked like McCoy didn't seem to be in a huge hurry to get rid of it. He might have kind of double clutched and spiked that one. Probably one Pajoli will tell you he should dig out for his teammate. As here's just about the exact same ball to McCoy. This time makes a strong throw to first. And that ends the inning, but not before the Mariners score 2. It's Movesmart Mariners 2 and Poor Bros Jacks nothing. Middle of the 6th on Clutch Sports Media. This is the Peoria Sunday Morning League brought to you by Body Armor. So a costly error there by McCoy in his debut. And the Mariners have a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 6 outs away from improving to 500 and getting their first win against Poor Bros this season in 3 matchups.
Yeah, like we were saying, it's very odd this early in the season for these teams to be facing each other so many times. Getting used to each other, knowing who they're going to throw really is important. But, yeah, Poor Bros winning two games and only allowing 1 run, which has been very impressive. Poor Bros pitching has been very impressive, as those 2 runs were both unearned. So, yeah, errors bite back that hurt them, but we're going to have to see this offense come through, which they've only had 1 hit tonight. But for Poor Bros, it's lucky for them they had the 2-3-4 Horcham with the only hit with his double coming up to the plate.
Yeah, that's a good thing to elucidate, that those 2 runs are going to be unearned, so still no earned runs in this ball game. And just really impressive from the Poor Bros pitching. That's now 20 straight innings, giving up just 1 earned run to this Mariners team. But the Mariners lead it 2-0. There's a delivery from Biederman, hit on the ground to the second baseman. Booth bobbled it, but picks it up and throws out the batter for out number 1.
Good spot here for Michael McCoy, trying to pick up his first base hit in the Sunday Morning League.
Time maybe for some redemption after McCoy was unable to make that play in the top half of the inning. Takes the ball in the dirt. 1-0. So in the bottom of the 6th, Biederman still out there for the Mariners. He's been brilliant so far. Ball outside, 2-0 on McCoy. We thought that one run could win this game, but I think as a pitcher, it's still really nice to have that insurance run, especially in a situation like this, to see those strike there, count 2-1 now, to know that you can be aggressive there on 2-0 and make them earn it, knowing that a long ball is not going to tie the game.
Yeah, Caleb
Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. You were saying, Brock?
Yeah, just having Caleb out there, he's been so dominant. 2 starts and 2-0 record with a 1.27 ERA.
Yep.
It's just brilliant stuff for him, especially against this Poor Bros team. That's just the second hit of the ball game.
Yeah, really good work from Bieneman, but now the tying run is going to come to the plate for Poor Bros. One on, one out. Bieneman delivers. There's a strike.
Want to give a special congrats to McCoy, first base hit in the Sunday Morning League in his debut. Expect a lot of things to come for that young guy.
Certainly a bright future for him in the Sunday Morning League and elsewhere in his baseball career. A cool moment for him to get his first hit in the league. Arnett, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
The fun thing about this league, Mason McCoy, he was in this league, and now look at him now playing pro ball. Micah, a little bit younger than what Mason was playing here, but still, he's got a talented bat and a good arm, and hopefully he'll do good things in college and make his way to the pros.
So the tying run is at the plate for Poor Bros. Delivery just low for a ball.
That was a good pitch right there. That's spot he wanted. Didn't get the call.
Yeah, really good try from Bieneman right around the knees. Maybe looking to get a double play ball. It's a ground ball. Too softly hit for 2, but the shortstop, Armstrong, will go to first and get the out. So 2 down, advancing to second is McCoy.
Good play by Armstrong there. That brings up Evan Pajoli, who is, I would say, he is due.
He's got a lot of pop. Intentionally walked earlier in this ball game. You know the Mariners have respect for his bat. Scuffled as of late, but with one swing of the bat, he could have a lot better feeling about tonight's ball game. It's funny how baseball works itself out. McCoy had the error in the top of the inning, and Pajoli was the first baseman who couldn't dig it out. He'd probably tell you he should have that pick for his third baseman, and they're the 2 guys right here. Could be the 2 guys to score the tying runs if Pajoli could get a hold of one. Big swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Looked like Pajoli was thinking that, but chased a bad ball.
Pajoli at Olivet had Player of the Week honors. Believe he had 5 home runs in 3 games at Olivet during a stretch. Was just absolutely insane hitter at Olivet this year.
Pajoli fouled it off himself. The home plate umpire will walk the ball out there to Bieneman. Give Pajoli a second here to gather himself. Big spot in the ball game. Pajoli representing the tying run. Bieneman set for the 1-2. Grounder foul. Turn on it just a little bit out in front of that pitch.
Poor Bros haven't been striking out that much. Only 3 strikeouts on the day. but we'll only have 2 hits.
Another 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Great pitch by Beeneman. Allows the 1 hit, but no runs. We'll go to the 7th. It's 2-0 in favor of the Mariners. This is the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor. So as we go to the last inning, pretty similar storyline to what we thought. Looks like a pitching change here for Poor Bros.
Yeah, that's number 24, Casey Holland, for Poor Bros.
Holland played his high school ball at Pekin. He's now at St. Ambrose, playing his college ball.
College ball with the St. Ambrose Bees is a pitching coach here locally, trying to help young guys develop stuff and get into college. Very good guy.
I think there are a lot of stories with guys in this league about, the contributions that they've made to the community. I know Brian Quinn, a player in the Sunday Morning League, was my travel ball baseball coach for 4 years. And his son Jarek, I played with him those 4 years and then got to play against him a couple years in high school. But I think there's just a lot of stories of people in this league, being so important to the community.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Semaroth on Movesmart, he's a travel ball coach for a 16U team. There's a lot of guys here helping out the community, not just by playing baseball, but coaching baseball and telling young kids all about their stories in college and how to get there. It's really cool to see.
Absolutely. Foul back on the first pitch of the inning from Holland.
I saw over on the other field, Cruisen's Reds who have been struggling. Last place in the league, they're up 4-0. Good to see for the Reds, who are the defending champions.
One, and here's a delivery from Holland. Fouled off to the right. Just outside. Good try there from Holland, but missed the outside edge. Counts even at 2. Mariners trying to add on to their 2-0 lead in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss. Good high fastball. Blew it by him. There's out number 1.
Good pitch right there to get the strikeout. It's 9 strikeouts on the day for this Poor Bros pitching staff.
Wang takes outside. He's struck out twice this evening, both times looking. He'll look to improve his night and what is likely to be his last plate appearance. Swings and misses there at the 1-0 delivery. Fastball just high.
Wanted it. Didn't get the call, though.
Fouled that one off of, I believe, the catcher Arnett. Off of somebody back there.
Giving everyone a little bit of a break. after that deflection.
1 out. Nobody on. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count on Wayne. And the pitch in the dirt for ball 3. Payoff pitch. Fly ball into short right field. The second baseman, Booth, camped under it and makes the grab for out number 2.
Looking ahead for the Mariners, they surprisingly only have 2 games left this month. They play on the 18th against the Reds, the 22nd against the Orioles, and then they're off. It's a different type of schedule. Some teams are like the Royals over on the other field. They were off for 2 weeks, and this is one of their first games back. They've only played 3 games in the league, and it's different from other times where everybody plays at the same time. Like the Mariners, they're playing in their 8th game, but over on the Royals, this is their only 4th game. It's a little bit different schedule.
Chopper to third, gloved by McCoy. Good strong throw to first, gets the out. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Poor Bros have to have 2 to tie the ball game. This is Clutch Sports Media broadcasting Peoria Sunday Morning League Baseball, brought to you by Body Armor. It looks like Caleb Bieneman is going to go back out there for the 7th to try to finish the complete game shutout.
Yeah, this pitch count's still in great shape. Kept Poor Bros hitters off balance. I don't see why you wouldn't put him back out there with his pitch count being this great. Only allowing 2 hits. So, yeah, let's see if he gets it done. We've seen some great pitching performances last week. The no-hitter, Clay McConkey had a complete game shutout 1-hitter where he struck out 15 batters. I mean, you'd think it's been a lot of offense for this league, but no, the pitching is really top-notch.
Bieneman not throwing his warm-up pitches very hard. Maybe tiring, but still wants to finish this ball game out. He takes a 2-run lead into the bottom of the 7th.
You see guys, when they get into the 7th inning, they'll start to slow down on the warm-ups, but once it comes to the game, they're throwing probably their hardest pitches of the game because they've got all that adrenaline built up, wanting to finish this game. See how he throws here.
Bieneman just done such a great job in this ball game, putting his team in a position to win, even though they've only scored 2 runs, and just wants to finish the job. He's behind 2-0 on Booth. Definitely want to be aggressive here. Don't want to walk a man and bring the tying run to the plate.
Just saw somebody jog over to the bullpen for the Mariners side, just in case things start to get a little bit hairy.
Here's the 2-1 from Bieneman. Under to third, gloved by Chapman. To first, 1 away. Good job by Bieneman coming right back into the zone on a couple of strikes. And due to some weak contact, and he's gotten 1 away for Zach Schulte, the designated hitter.
Schulte, one of the, as we said before, former PSML batting champion. He's actually leading the team in average. He's hitting .375 on the season. Had a really good start to the year for Poor Bros.
Schulte just trying to do anything he can to get on base for the guy behind him, Jake Stewart. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Bieneman. 0-2 on Schulte. He's really got to grind. Got to put a ball in play here. The 0-2. Fouled. No, he swung and missed. But the ball got by the catcher. Garcia, throw to first is not in time. Pulled the first baseman Hathaway off the bag. Might not have been there on time anyway, so a miscue by Garcia will bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good to see him get on for the tying run to come up to the plate here with 1 out. Their time is now. They got to do something here.
Jake Stewart represents the tying run for Poor Bros. Ball in the dirt, blocked there by Garcia. Tough one to give up a base runner on a strikeout, especially when you've got a guy on the mound you know is tiring. Want to waste bullets. There's the 1-0. Ball 2.
Pitch count still in great shape. That was his 83rd pitch of the game, but see, we saw him get very aggressive, just keep throwing strikes. He's going away 2-0. There's a strike, but a little bit different than all the other innings where we've seen him get into counts of 0-1, 0-2, starting to slow down a little bit.
Grounder to the right side. And Hathaway goes to second, throws the ball into left field. And another error from the Mariners. And now the winning run is going to come to the plate. Wow. I thought Hathaway might just go to first with that one. Tried potentially to turn 2 or at least get the lead runner, but threw it away. And a big break there for Poor Bros.
Yeah, I mean, Schulte isn't one of the fastest runners in the Sunday Morning League, so they think, oh, we can get a fielder's choice or try to turn 2, just sped it up too much and overthrew it.
So men on first and second with 1 away for Trevor Goforth. Goforth, interestingly, is the only player on this team with a home run this season. One there would win the ball game. Ball blocked in the dirt by Garcia.
Got a runner at second for Schulte. That's Carter Nowak. Trying to get some speed on the base paths.
Here's the pitch. Just misses the zone. 2-0 on Goforth. Talking about his home run, and not just his home run, he also had a double in that performance against the Mariners in the first game of this season. I think he's got the green light here to try to tie the game or win it. The 2-0. Fouled off to the left. Got a good pitch to hit there, but was just late on it.
Beaneman got the thumbs up over by the bullpen, so who is ever ready to come into the game is ready.
Ball outside, and it's 3-1.
See if this is his last batter. Don't want to walk him here to get the bases loaded with 1 out.
Carry a spot here for the Mariners, 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Bags are loaded with 1 away, and that'll bring the leadoff hitter Brecklin to the plate.
But not before. Looks like we may get a change here. They haven't given the signal yet. Gonna talk things over.
Josh Blum out there to the mound. See whether this is talk about strategy for attacking Brecklin or a pitching change. Like I said, it still hasn't made the signal. It's looking like they're going to let Beaneman try to finish this. It's got to be frustrating for him having 2 guys reach via the error in this inning. Without those 2 errors, the ball game would be over. But instead, it's the bases loaded with 1 away, and he's got the winning run on base.
Yeah, and if you're the Mariners, this is exactly what you don't want, is the leadoff hitter of the game for Poor Bros up. Brecklin, Horcham, and McCoy for the Poor Bros. Deadly lineup here.
So Beaneman going to get a chance to try to finish this thing. Sets and delivers in there for a strike. Big there for Beeman to get ahead.
Looking for him to induce a double play ball. Try to win it.
The line drive into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the tying run. Throw to the plate is offline, and we got a tie ball game at the Eastside Centre. Good swing there from Brecklin. Lines 1 to left, and we are all knotted up in the bottom of the 7th.
Brady Brecklin doing Brady Brecklin things, putting his ball into play and causing some action. And now, just like this, Horcham. 1 swing away from ending this.
Felt like the Mariners were in control of this game, and all of a sudden it's tied, and Poor Bros is in the driver's seat. First and second, 1 away. That pitch just missed from Bieneman.
That base hit is only their 3rd hit of the game, and the thing about this is the 1, 2, 3 hitters all have the hits. Exactly what you want if you're Poor Bros.
Counts 2-0 now on Horcham. Hitters count a base hit here would likely win the ball game. The Mariners have their outfielders playing pretty shallow. There's a strike on the outside corner. That might have been a little generous. But yeah, Mariners want to have their outfielders playing more shallow so they have a chance to cut down that run at the plate on a single. 2-1 to Horcham. Flared in left field. Coming in is Casey. Can't make the catch, and he's going to send the runner to try to win the ball game. Here's the throw. Not in time, and it's a walk-off single for Ashton Horcham. A 3 spot in the bottom of the 7th for Poor Bros, and they win it on a walk-off here at the Eastside Centre.
What a finish we had at Eastside. 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Just incredible display of just grit and determination. Both teams just having 4 hits in this one. And we saw 2 of them. Half of the hits for Poor Bros came in this inning, and they needed it big to get this win and move to the season to 500, 3-3.
Brock, what a turn in this game. You had 2-run lead for the Mariners in the bottom of the 7th, 1 away, and a strikeout of Zach Schulte, but a drop 3rd strike, and he reaches on that, and he had an error by the first baseman Hathaway, and then had a walk, 2 RBI single, and then another RBI single. So some miscues defensively for the Mariners allowed Poor Bros to get back into the game, and just and some clutch hitting there at the end.
Yeah, we saw a great game. We saw some cool milestones. We saw Micah McCoy get his first hit in the Sunday Morning League, and then Ashton Horcham, Bradley guy, coming up big in the clutch to walk it off here tonight at Eastside.
An exciting ball game here. The final score is the Poor Bros Jacks 3 and the Movesmart Mariners 2. Be sure to tune in Thursday night when Cole's Diamond Gallery takes on the Firehouse Pizza Expos right here on Clutch Sports Media. This has been the Peoria Sunday Morning League on Clutch Sports Media, brought to you by Body Armor.